Hello, good morning, everybody. I'm gonna give you some little information, and I wanna let you know I appreciate you watching YouTube Tips with Steve Pep again. And this time we're gonna do a PVC Chum tube feeder. A lot of people call it a bunch of different things. Now, what I did, I want to tell you one thing. You can watch YouTube videos, and you can hear and watch anything you want on YouTube, except money jingling and meat frying. And I think y'all can figure out what that means. Everybody has an opinion, and everybody has the way they do it, and that's okay. That's mighty fine. That they have their own way of doing it. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm here to show you the way I do it. Now, first off, what we're going to do, I didn't want to sit here and take up a bunch of your time and show you how I drill holes and how I glue and how I do all this stuff. But I will explain to you. You go to the plumbing place. You get one of these here. These are a drain. They're a drain, PVC drain. And what you do, you get your PVC pipe, and you get one of these collar deals that has the threads on the top. And it fits over the pipe, and this screws in there. So what I did, I already drilled the holes, and if you'll notice, a lot of people, if you watched any other videos, you'll see people take sandpaper after they drill the holes. They take sandpaper and they sandpaper it real smooth and make it pretty. And but I don't. I leave. I've made a few of these, and I've watched at night. At night I'll use a green light. One of them green lights you hook the battery, and I'll hang this over the side of my boat. And what'll happen? I put that green light down there, and I can watch them little perch, them little fish. I've even seen little crappie. They'll come up there and they'll start chewing on these little deals like this. They'll chew. They think it's a worm. I guess they smell that chum coming out, and it attracts them, and then they see the little worm deals, and they sit there and they'll chew on them and pull on them, and I mean, I just think it helps attract the fish. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree to this. But you glue it, you clean it, you glue it. You clean it and you glue it. Now, I drill a hole in the top part. I don't know if you can see it. Then I put a washer on here. Now, I'll put that through there like that. Then I'll put another washer on here. Then I'll put my nut. Now, while I'm screwing this nut on here, I want to tell y'all something. I have watched people put these together all different ways and all different fashions. And I can tell you one thing. I've seen people use, they'll drill holes down here, and they'll put zip ties to hold it together with zip ties. Well, that's their way of doing it. I'm not going to dog somebody for the way they're doing it. That might be a good way for them. But to me, I've had too many zip ties break. Hambone, quit that. Hambone. I've had too many zip ties break on other projects. I've had fence and wire and stuff, so I don't trust zip ties and on some things. Now, what you do, I'm going to tell you about the food here, the chum here in just a minute, but I'm going to show you. You take and you get this here. Now, I've got regular paracord I'm going to tie on this, but I just want to show you what it looked like here in the bag. It's called 550 paracord. It's 100 feet, and what you do, its diameter is 5 by 32, and it's 550 pound test weight. And I tell you what, you're not going to break this. Now, what you do, I just suggest, this is olive drab. And I always like dark colors, I don't know, even on my jug lines. And you take the end of it and you burn the very tip of this paracord with a lighter. Then you tie a knot in the very end of it. You always want to tie a knot so that this paracord don't slip. And then once you got that, you take that paracord, you slide it through here, you tie your knot, and the paracord's done. But here's another tip. It's just a tip now. That's what the title of the video said, tips. So I got a anchor in my boat. Now I got a bigger dimension nylon rope that I tie that my anchor, and then I tie it to one of the crates on my boat. And I throw my anchor out and it holds my boat where I want it to hold. Well, I always thought if my rope ever slipped out of my hand or it come untied from the boat and the boat floated off a little bit and the rope unraveled, went in the water, and it's all going to sink. You lose your anchor, you lose your rope, you lose everything. And it might ruin a good days of fishing. So I take a little deal like that. I bought a bunch of these. And I tie one on the diameter of my nylon rope on my anchor in my boat. This way, if I throw my anchor out and it slides through my hand, I still got it. If I don't got it, it's still floating, and you can ease over there, throw the motor and pick it up. You still didn't lose your anchor. You didn't lose your rope. And I do the same thing on these. Now I will put a jug, a bleach bottle or some type of a jug, soap jug or something. If I want to put it out there in the water around my jugs for my catfish. But normally I hang it on my side of my boat, and I put the little green light down there and I can keep an eye on it. But I still got this attached, but it's hooked to your boat. Or you can hang it off a bridge. You can hang it off a tree that's out there in the water. You can hang this from that paracord on anything. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this up. I hope this here helped you. It's a good idea if it didn't. And when you do this, you need a drill, you need a ratchet, you need an eye bolt, you need 2 washers. You need some glue and you need cleaner. Now I done cleaned it and glued it, so you didn't have to sit there and watch me do all this. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna discuss the food. Now there's 3 types of methods of doing this that I use. One's for carp, buffalo, and drum, and one's for catfish, and one's for bait like bluegill, red ear, perch, shell cracker, just whatever you want to call them. To me, they're all perch or bait. But you know, everybody, they want to get real scientific and say, no, that ain't no bluegill, that's a shell cracker, or that's not a shell cracker, that's a red ear, or that's not a red ear, that's a bluegill. It's all bait to me. I'm not here to discuss each breed and species of bait fish, but we're going to stop and talk about carp, buffalo, and drum right now. Now there's 2 ways of doing it. You can take this, if you live on a farm or a ranch, you're going to have animals, corn for your chickens or your animals, pigs, goats, whatever, hogs, dogs, cats, whoever eats corn. Everything I got eats corn. They love corn. They're good for them. And this is hard. They don't like that. The carp and buffalo do not like hard corn. But if you got 50-pound bags of feed corn, then take it, put it in a 5-gallon bucket, soak it in water, and let the water make it soft. Once it gets soft, it's good. Don't let it sour. Some people say you let it sour. I don't let it sour. The only corn I let sour is if I want to go shoot a wild pig, because they got wild pigs everywhere. They love sour corn. I take a post hole digger, I dig me a hole in the ground with post hole diggers about 2 foot, about that far. and then I pour a 5-gallon bucket of soured corn in the post hole, and this attracts the pigs. They hang around, they root around, they try to get. They can't get all the corn out of there. But I know we're not talking about baiting, chumming wild pigs. We're doing the corn for the fish right now. But if you don't want to do this and you ain't got 50-pound bags of corn laying around, they love this. Carp, buffalo, and drum love this, and catfish love it. Catfish loves corn too. Believe me, if I run out of fish food on my pond to feed my catfish, I throw corn. And they love corn. And this is a good method of attracting them carp buffalo. And you got these. These are I call them daggum chicken. I call them cattle cubes. But feed stores sell them as range cubes. But you can call them range cubes, cattle cubes, but they're to feed cattle. Well, I'll tell you what, carp, buffalo, catfish, drum, they love these too. Now, there's 2 ways of doing this. One is soaking the corn, and the second way is, and I forgot to tell you. Now, everything loves hog pellets. Catfish love hog pellets, carp, buffalo, drum loves hog pellets, and your bait fish, all your bluegill and all them, they love hog pellets. Okay? Now, what we're going to do, you take your corn, you soak it, you get it soft, or you take this and your hog pellets, and if you want to fish for carp and buffalo and drum, you take it out there and you throw it. You broadcast it out there in an area. Now, some people say you do it in a big area. I don't do it in a big area. I do it in a little area. About 20 yards by 20 yard area. You know, that's big enough. It will attract your fish. Probably 2 hours at the least, at 3 hours at the most, you'll have carp, buffalo, drum coming into your chum that you broadcast out. With these, the corn, hog pellets, or this corn, it works. I guarantee you it works. Now, if you want to do catfish, you can do the same thing. You can throw corn, and you can throw hog pellets, and you can throw cattle cubes, or you can throw this kind of corn. It's going to, and you do it the same way you throw it out there, and them catfish will come. Okay, now, let's say you want to catch your perch and your bluegill and small bait fish like that. Now you got to be in mind that you want this to be down current, because the current is going to run this way and it's going to take this scent this way downstream. So you either want to fish upstream and fish on the back side of this thing, downstream side, or you want to get downstream and then fish up toward this, but still downstream from your feeder. So, if you want, or like I say, you can fish off the boat. Now, either way you do this, use this. My method is, a lot of people have one of these, some people don't. This is a grinder. It hooks to your table, and you put your fish or your bait or whatever in there, and then you grind, you turn it, and it comes out here. You put your little tray here, and it sticks right there, and then you do it, and it comes out there, and then you can have your mixture. Now, if you want to fish for small bait fish, you take, now this here is cat food. That's cat food. That's dog food. This is fish food that I feed my catfish. This is hog pellets. This is cracked corn. And then you got this kind of corn. Tuna fish, pink salmon, and mackerel. Mackerel works just as good, if not better, than pink salmon. Now, another thing I want you to understand, that You can take chicken livers and gizzards, put in this, grind it up for catfish, and you can buy store-bought fish food, but that's expensive. That runs into some money. If you're going to chum with store-bought fish food, you're going to spend a lot of money. And another thing, if you're fishing off the side of the boat and you got this hanging off the side of your boat, take some breadcrumbs or bread, and just throw it out there where that green light is shining, and you'll watch. That'll bring a lot of that bait fish up there, little bitty fish, and then the bigger bait fish will come, and then you got big fish come. So bread, I don't put bread or breadcrumbs in my tube here. I don't do that, because I can just throw it down there, broadcast it, and it works really good. And then you can put worms, you know, people want to use worms. You can use just about anything. And crawdads, I have used crawdads. Now, what a big deal is, you do want to use, but you don't want to put it in here. You want to put it in here first, and then put it in here after you mix it. But shad and bluegill, your bait fish, crawdads, and make sure you include the guts of all these fish. The guts is where a lot of that flavor is from too, and the blood coming from the meat. And then you can mix it with your dry cat food, dog food, fish food, hog pellets. This, you can just put it all and just mix it a little bit at a time. Don't do all your bait fish first, and then your crawdads, and then your shrimp. I've even put shrimp. Anything's going to put scent in little particles, and you want to grind it really good. You want to grind it. You may even have to grind it twice, but you want it because you want that scent and them particles to come out of these holes. That's why I say drill big holes, not little holes. Rabbit pellets work good. Chicken pellets work good. But you take your perch, your shad, and your bluegill, crawdads. You take whatever you want, put it in there, mix it all up. It's great. And then you mix a little bit of each one of these up, because you want little particles. And that's how you're going to catch your perch and your small bait, because you got little bitty particles. Cornmeal works really good. Now, if you put cornmeal in here with this, once it gets wet and the water goes through these holes, cornmeal is going to come out in the fish. Them little perch, they love the cornmeal, little minnows and stuff, and the tuna fish, and all this. Now, if you mix any of this, don't use your tap water. I'm just giving you my opinion. You use tap water if you want to. It has chlorine in it, and I think it messes up the scent of the bait. I'll go down to the pond, or you can go to a lake, get you a gallon jug of pond water or water from the lake, and use that if you're going to mix it up and make dough bait for your carp and stuff. You know, if you want to soak this for your carp, let it get soft, put your corn in with it and your hog pellets, and then mix it up, put some fish food in there, catch it, throw it out there. You want to mix it up with pond water or lake water, not tap water. Now again, I'm just telling you what I say, what I think, and what I believe. Okay, now, if you want to do the catfish, now you do the same thing on catfish, except you're going to use your cat food, your dog food, you're going to use the corn, you're going to use your pellets, you're going to use your fish food, and especially tuna fish, your salmon or mackerel, and corn, and if you're going to use it in this. But you really want the scent to come out and disperse really good to attract catfish. Now, they're not going to get a whole lot to eat. But when you got, say you got 6, 7 jugs in this circle, and you got this floating on a gallon jug, say you got a gallon jug. Now this here is just to keep your paracord from going all the way down in the water if you lose it. But you get up there, whatever depth you want this to be, You know, if the water's 15 foot deep, you want to put it, 20 foot or 15 foot deep water. If it's 15 foot deep, you want to put it 7 foot of water, or whatever. If it's 25 foot deep, you want to put it 15 foot or 10 foot of water, whatever. Well, you tie off that milk jug or soap jug to the depth of this here paracord, and it'll float at that depth. Or you can drop it all the way to the bottom if you want, however. But you do need a drill bit, you do need eye bolt, you do need this ratchet and a socket. Eye bolt, you need all these PVC pipes, you need a glue and cleaner. And I think I covered everything. You can chum with this, or you can broadcast it by hand. It all works, and different times one method will work better than the other method. But believe me, everything loves corn. One way or another, they love corn. They love, and like I said, there's so many other baits. Some people, I've seen some people use what do you call it? Chicken gizzards. I'll give you my opinion. Never put chicken gizzards in one of these, because they'll sit there and they'll soak up that water. They'll stay in there and they'll rot and they'll stink and they'll get nasty, and you won't attract nothing but buzzards. If you got any of them water buzzards, them turkey buzzards that swim underwater, now you might attract one of them, because it's nasty, stinking, and it's not going to attract nothing. So I wouldn't suggest you using chicken gizzards or chicken hearts. I've seen people say, oh, that's the best bait. I don't use them. It's not the best bait for me. Cut bait, shad, perch is your best bait, in my opinion, on jug line. But you try what you want. I hope this video helped you. I hope you got something out of it. And I want to let you know I appreciate you watching this video. And thank you very much, and God bless you. And I hope you go out and I hope you catch a whole bunch of fish. And have a nice day. Goodbye.